Hello again. Another week. Yippee! Not really. This week kinda sucked. Yeah, this week certainly sucked. Honestly, when I look at the little entries of how I'm feeling, it feels like a massive build up to what also feels like a major fuck up that I just did. On yeah, it really Jesus Christ. It feels like a massive lead up to that. Oof. In terms of goals, to get more on track, um, everything's going rather alright. As far as brushing teeth goes, I know I mentioned how I didn't specifically word to do two a day. I'm still keeping to just once a day. Not the best, but to be fair, I'm not giving my brain the not giving it the motivation, I guess. I guess I'm just not associating a full thing with a full day worth of brushing teeth to just doing it. So next month will definitely be a sort of addendum. Also, I do ask myself, why don't I just edit it? And honestly, I don't really want to edit it. I kind of want to keep it as that, especially since this is the first time I'm actually putting it in the journal. It's probably a better idea to start off soft, 1 month of only partial, and then when I get on to the next one, it's full. Although I probably couldn't have picked a worse time to do this, because next month is also the next phase for porn addiction. Speaking of that, honestly, incredibly normal. Um, I'm definitely, I'm definitely starting to get a feeling since this is the next month into four. Since there's 3 days, it's going to be lion's share of days not being allowed to. So there was a sort of inherent feeling that I don't want to go on to the next phase and just keep it the way it is. Because with this, I kind of lose minimal and still gain something out of it. But yeah, I I'm starting to truly start feeling those the dread from the feelings of loss that are starting to well up within me. Um, it's definitely not the greatest feeling because like I said, it's making me want to not go on with the next phase, but I'm just gonna I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm gonna hold myself to it, and I can't. I mean, I can fuck up, but I don't want to fuck up. So in my mind, I can't fuck up. If I do, it's gonna lead into another really bad day for me. Um, I just vacuumed. I've been keeping steady on the vacuuming, not like the tired sort of boring vacuuming that I was doing last week. This is full out, go across. Um, for actually fully implementing this, this is like I'm noticing there's a lot I could improve on, but I'm sort of making peace with the fact that maybe this month and maybe even next month aren't the proper times to start trying to improve what I'm doing because, well, I am trying to fully incorporate doing it twice a week in. So maybe I should wait for the the 2 month marker and go from there. It'd probably be a lot easier to actually start doing more since I got a lot more used to it. Um, um, and I guess in terms of goals, at least major goals, that's really it. Now, time to get on to why on Wednesday I wrote down fucking stupid and worthless for how I'm feeling. Um, on Wednesday, As a bit of context, I typically write down how I'm feeling at the end of the day. Typically, not always, but I usually do that. Um, at the end of Wednesday, when my mom got home, she drives a truck, for even more context. I put a canister of Def into her gas tank. And for if you forget this, if you truly forget this for whatever reason, um, Def is not supposed to go into the gas tank because if it does, it can crystallize in the gas filter. Number one mistake. It can corrode certain metals, which gas tanks may be made up of. I don't know what most manufacturers make them out of, so. And if you start the vehicle, it can truly and utterly fuck up multiple parts, including the engine. So I was smart enough to tell her not to start her vehicle for the obvious reason of why the fuck would you start your vehicle if it tells you not to put it in your gas tank? But as a caveat, I put it in there to fucking begin with. Um, Now, the only reason that I wouldn't have put it in there is if my dumbass, like, just thought for 2 seconds, yeah, the gas tank is open, but, like, there's a blue valve or a blue cap on the next thing, and Def has a blue box. And my brain just did, general pattern recognition. But because I almost never actually open that cap, I just assumed to put it in the open thing. And so a problem is born. Um, and the stress compounds with on Thursday, yesterday, the day after I did this fuck up, I have to bring my dog to the vet to get a checkup for his thyroid and get blood done, yada yada, make sure he's healthy, considering, a part of his body just died and they have to test to see if his body's reacting properly to the medicine they gave him. And also, my mom needs to get to work, and the other vehicle we do have is being used to go as far from her work as it possibly can without going out of state or going to the northern part of California. So, that's bad news. Then on Thursday, I felt a hell of a lot luckier because a thing that most sources told me wouldn't be covered by insurance is then covered by insurance and then becomes actually affordable and just isn't an overall fuck up. I feel like the luckiest motherfucker to have ever lived because despite me not doing anything, it seems that whenever I do something that either fucks things up or even just is basic, like just a basic action that could potentially help me, I seem to get incredibly lucky. I'm not going to block my blessings, nor will I count them, because I'm not stupid. That was very nice. I feel a lot better, but I still feel like shit because it would have never happened if I didn't just fall into complacency, which, as I said, felt like a build-up to my fuck-up on Wednesday. First up, after the last video, on Saturday, just fine. A little bit of a return to normal. That's good. On Sunday, I got a bit mad. It was mostly just an overall feeling. It was generally just not feeling great. Felt a little mad about some of the stuff that was happening. So, didn't seem too out of the ordinary. On Monday, I wrote down tired and falling into consumption. I should have realized right there, I gotta start fucking doing anything. Then on Tuesday, I was feeling disoriented and drowsy. So, along with just a general lack of mental faculties, I also just outright didn't even try to think. And it wasn't even I would say that on Wednesday I was certainly on the up and up. I didn't feel tired. In comparison to Monday and Tuesday, I felt incredibly normal. Just baseline okay. Yet despite that, I made such a major fuck up. Great. Ugh. I gotta, I gotta, I gotta make sure I stop falling into complacency. Feels like this month in particular is just a sort of bad month overall. Maybe it's a test. Maybe if God up in the sky truly does exist, he is testing me for whatever reason. I doubt that. I think Loki just got really unlucky. As the doctor put it, straight bad luck. Not much you can do about that. And yeah, Wednesday I'm going to keep taking full accountability for, despite my mom saying that it is bad luck. I disagree. I think I fucked up really bad because I started falling into complacency. The signs were there. This is the perfect environment because, like, this month overall hasn't been super great so far. So it makes sense for why I would be falling into complacency because I don't really want to do anything. I'm feeling lazy. I feel like shit. It's getting harder to fight back against the urges to want to just dope myself up on fucking dopamine and porn. More and more, it feels like I'm going fucking mad. And so, what's the best way to fight that off? Well, just consume, fall into complacency, and just stop thinking. And then boom, you make a major fuck up, and now I'm more alert than I've ever been because I feel like I can't fall into complacency ever again. It's been a mess. It has been a true and utter mess. And honestly, while I'm certainly pissed off about what I did, I'm also a little glad that it was a great wake-up call because for at least the next few months, I'm not falling into complacency. It's getting a lot easier to not fall into my urges. As a matter of fact, quite the contrary. When my body instinctually is like, hey, maybe I wanna do something like fucking, again, my current biggest vice is porn, but also something like just scroll on YouTube. I am so averse to doing it that it legitimately like comes down to me forcing myself to do it. So, also, this is going to be, I asked my mom to get me some gum, and on Thursday, I started chewing on it so that I stop chewing on my nails. Which, positive, they're already looking better. Also positive, since I started with specifically my thumbs, long before just in general all my nails, I think I started at the beginning of the week. They've actually grown a little bit, like noticeably speaking, and I had to wonder if something was wrong with me because they were yellow, but apparently it's pretty normal for them to be, for new growths after a long time of chewing to be yellow, so unless like a month from now they're still yellow while they're growing out, I think I might have to get checked up then, but I mean, otherwise I think it's just fine. I just have to make sure to, actually wash my nails now because there's something to fucking wash instead of just, well, stumps that I would usually have. So that's kind of a new little goal, but this doesn't need to be logged in the book because this one I can actively keep up with in my mind. Whenever I'm not chewing gum, I actively feel the urges to, uh, which I can also sort of correlate this biting my nails to stress, so it is rather impressive that despite how stressful it's been, I have not been biting my nails. Of course, I am replacing it with chewing gum, which I would like to look up how good that is for you, but as of right now, it is certainly healthier than biting your nails. Another thing when they start to actually grow out a little bit that I could do to sort of stop myself from needing gum, painting my nails with like clear coat or just paint. So that could be that could be another alternative that I just haven't pulled the trigger on because I don't know, an overbearing sense of masculinity, I guess. Uh, it's stupid, it's dumb, but it would be helpful if I want to not use gum, and if I find any information that proves that gum is overtly bad. So, hmm, that's that's how this week has gone. It feels like I was approaching my weakest moment, like I was about to stop climbing out of the hole that I've dug for myself. And then when I actually started to slip, I realized what the fuck I was doing and stopped and actually secured myself. So, yeah. No more complacency. It's no. Maybe one day I'll start to fall back into it, but truly, that fucking shook me up. I don't like that. I don't want that to ever happen. If it's gonna be a mistake, I want it to be like actually out of my control and not just me fucking handing over controls to stupid brain that doesn't know how to do anything. That doesn't know how to actually like consciously think. So, ugh. Either that or I need to make my unconscious thought a lot better. I'm not gonna do the latter though. I don't know how to do that. I think it just happens naturally. So I'm not gonna try it. Um, but aside from that, oh, I did have one more thing I wanted to record down. I've been having more madman ramblings, and during those, I have come to the conclusion that I'm probably insane. Um, which is a statement that I don't think many people can attribute to themselves. I think we like to believe that we're not insane, but no, I think I am. I think I'm insane. I could get this clinically diagnosed. I'm not going to, because I don't think I need to. I also don't think insanity is nearly as bad as people think it is. But, ugh, I don't know. A thought came up to me during one of my ramblings, and it's been pervading my mind that maybe I should actually document what the fuck I'm saying in these, even though a lot of it is certainly like just spewed thoughts that have no real connection and don't even fully represent who I am. I think it could legitimately be valuable, especially since for some of these I oftentimes just forget what the hell I'm talking about the moment I stop talking. Um, which is the whole reason why I think it might be valuable to document them. And since I can't write as fast as I talk, it'd probably be better to record in a video. Not even to post it like I am with this. It's less of an accountability thing, like with this one, more of an accountability thing, as well as for the fear one, that's also an accountability thing because I would not be making those otherwise. But for that one, it's just maybe I should just keep a backlog of like my mad ramblings and see if I can keep those around. See if I can call back to them. See what fragmented thoughts pop up, and then maybe sort of actually understand and maybe incorporate them into my legitimate thinking instead of, again, as I call them, insane ramblings. And it would probably stop me from walking back and forth across the living room floor and just allow me to sit in a chair, be a bit more calm, maybe wave my arms around and do some crazy shit. But it'd probably be a lot healthier of an alternative than walking around in my house, fucking mumbling to myself about some stupid thing. And it might actually exhaust me a little more too. It takes a lot more energy to sit down when I'm thinking than it does to walk around, as if I need to get out a bunch of energy when I don't have any energy. So who knows? Maybe that could exhaust me. Oh, and also, due to an actual call to action of my dog's getting fucking fat. My dog really is, and I want to keep his feeding habits with my other dog pretty consistent. So it's time to take him on walks, or at the very least, let him into the front yard that is much bigger than the small sort of enclosure I got for him back there. It would probably just be much better. I don't want to clean up any like poop from the front yard though, because it's just more inconvenient that way. So before I do that, I'd probably want to let them go outside for a long time, make sure they relieve themselves, let them out there. And I know I'm going to do the same with walking because I don't want them to go to the bathroom while I'm walking. I know I can't fully control it because, sometimes it just happens. I've had it happen where sometimes I just need to go to pee, and then when I leave the bathroom, like 10 minutes later, oh, now you gotta poop. It just happens. It's a natural function. Sometimes the body doesn't process it, or your mind doesn't process it. So I guess there's a couple of new things that I could add. I don't think I'm going to be adding either of them to the journal, though. That's just something I need to actually keep in mind a little more. If I do notice that I'm not capable of just doing it, I'm going to put it in the journal as a reminder, since I open it every day. And there. I guess aside from that, I'm done. I've got nothing else to talk about. So I'll see myself next time.